I still remember this ride. It was in the evening here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was probably around 10 p.m. And I had a passenger pickup at Rivers Casino in the north side here in Pittsburgh. And I got the rider's request. Everything looked good, the pay, the start and the ending destination. I accepted it, and then I headed over to the north side. And I'm pulling into the north side, taking the off ramp, and I'm getting close to Rivers Casino. And right at the stoplight, there's a stoplight right before you get to the casino. And I was about to turn into the casino where the valet, like the self park and people are waiting there for their Ubers, that kind of front area there. And right as I'm waiting at that light, I get a text from the passenger that, I don't know how to say it, basically asks if I'm interested. I think you know what I mean there. If I'm interested and would like to whatever, okay. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Because I'm at the light and I'm looking over there and there's just a bunch of people, and somewhere in there is my passenger texting me, and I'm about to pull in, like right when I'm about to pull in, and I'm looking like, what the heck? And then they text me again, question marks, like 3 question marks. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm going to cancel this ride. I'm like, where the heck is it? And they text me again, are you interested? Are you interested? And then another question mark. And I immediately cancel that ride request. And I'm turning towards the casino, but I do a complete U-turn and I just get out of there. This is 6 things I wish I knew before driving rideshare platforms like Uber and Lyft. And number 1 is I can almost guarantee you're going to have rides that make you uncomfortable or nervous. I mean, that's at least rare. You can take solace in that. I don't know, 99.9% of rides never had an issue. Passengers were fine regardless of the day, but super weird that they kind of waited until I was basically there and like creepily like drunk texted me or whatever it is. I had another one. South side this time, south of the North Shore. Probably after the bars closed, this guy gets in, probably early 20s, and his friend, and the guy's just like, I just want to fight someone. I want to fight someone like right now. Hey, driver, you ever feel that way? Like you kind of want to be like anonymous, like, oh, I'm not here. I'm just piloting this vehicle. Like, don't pay attention to me, please. Especially as you're talking about this, like, driver, you ever want to fight? I just want to fight someone right now. And I had to leverage my years of customer service to just like, yeah, no, never really felt that way, but yeah, what about this? And just deflect that conversation ASAP. I've had people that were completely quiet and like didn't really say anything either when they got in on dark back roads. I've had passengers that are extremely close to getting sick. I'm just kind of looking up and down in that rear view like, oh my gosh, please don't get sick. What am I going to do? Do I have the sick bags? You should get the sick bags if you're going to do rideshare. I've had people try to get in with young kids with no car seat. I've had the students or whoever try to get in with alcohol, or sometimes they will sneak in alcohol under a jacket, in a purse or something like that. I've had pit stops in not the best areas where someone's like, yeah, I just need to go into this house real quick, or I just need to like meet my friend here. And then I'm sitting there and there's kind of people around. I'm just chilling there in the car and I can't really leave because this is a part of their trip. They can add stops if you didn't know. So I'm just sitting there. Never an issue with that, but I'm saying point number 1, you will most likely definitely have rides where you're kind of sitting there like, oh, I kind of wish I was doing food delivery right now. Number 2, let's shake that off. Hopefully that didn't scare you away too much from rideshare because, again, it's the very rare rides. Yeah, it'll happen. Let's be real here. But number 2, I was surprised how on the good side, rideshare can be very good and it can pay exceptionally well. Holidays, weekends, events, concerts, sporting events, specifically like Halloween, New Year's Eve, and make sure to subscribe. All I do is help you make money in different side hustles because I typically, at least once a year, choose that very, very busy Halloween weekend to give you an Uber driver shift. But this right here, these earnings, these ride requests are from that last year's shift on Halloween. The pay is ridiculous, like more than any other niche in the gig economy. If you're driving through these busy times here, the dollars to mile payouts, how much am I getting paid per mile driven? If you're comfortable, if you're especially comfortable driving during these later hours, these busy times, sometimes the rideshare pay can be ridiculous. And that's in a good way. Number 3, even if you can see the starting and ending destination, which you should be seeing here, I think maybe some marketplaces don't see it. Maybe it's still under Uber Pro. You can comment down below if you see the starting and ending destinations. Still, after seeing that, you're still going to drive all over your marketplace. That's because these passengers can change the destinations, they can add a stop, they can update, again, the destinations. So I've had it where I just want to stay, let's say, in the Strip District, and then the passenger at pickup says, oh, by the way, I accidentally put like the same drop off as the pickup. We're actually going to the airport, so get ready. And that might not sound too bad, like, oh, I'm doing a farther trip, and these apps, Uber and Lyft, they're going to auto-calculate that new rate, so you're going to get paid. But then your strategy of, I didn't really want to drive 20 minutes away or wherever your airport is, and then deal with that. And then, am I going to wait in the staging or the cell phone lot for another ride? Number 4, an inevitability of rideshare are the rideshare specific surprises that, again, I guarantee it's going to happen to you. I mentioned a few. It's the unexpected stops, and they'll tell you, I just need to make a stop for like 5 minutes, and maybe it's like a 7-Eleven. But I have had curveballs. I have had really nice passengers that said, hey, I'm sorry, we got to make this stop at 7-Eleven. Do you want anything? And they bought me some snacks before, so. But then you'll have like those random houses or like an apartment complex. Oh, I forgot something. I just got to run inside, which is, I guess, not a huge deal. I just got to sit in my vehicle. But remember, the per minute rate is never a lot of money. That's not going to make you money, the per minute rate. The, again, unknown aspect of those passengers, like, yeah, you'll have every kind of passenger now, including, by the way, if you have this option turned on, you can opt out of this. But at least on Uber, the Uber Teen accounts, that is any passenger from 13 to 17 that's pre-authorized by a parental guardian, etc. I've had passengers invite me inside to party. I'm like, dude, I'm just starting. I'm not going to go inside, frankly. I'm never going to go inside with any passenger. I don't care. But I'm like, oh yeah, I just started, guys. Or you can always say like, hey, you know, appreciate that. I got to unfortunately miss out on the parties tonight. I got to make some money. I've also had passengers, my gosh, try to like recruit me or sell me on something. I had one person down in Station Square here in Pittsburgh try to like book a sales call with me. Oh, I guarantee I can add value. Give me 15 minutes. And they were trying to sell me on something in the car. And as someone who's studied sales, I'm like, hey, I can appreciate what you're doing here as a lead generator and you're trying to put me in your funnel, whatever it is. No, you'll 100% have passengers tell you very intricate and intimate, detailed stories of their life. And sometimes they just want someone to talk to. So just listen. Number 5, back to the actual earnings here. Uber and Lyft rideshare, they just have, this should stand to reason here, but maybe you don't know. They certainly have different earnings trends than other gig economy niches like parcel, grocery, shopping, food delivery, whatever. So look at these earnings trends, this time on Uber. They're showing me expected areas where I could earn more, and other apps show you that. But looking at the actual hours here, it somewhat mirrors food delivery, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But keep in mind, like, unlike sometimes, because I know a lot of this is market dependent, so comment down below if you agree with this, but like mornings before work, especially let's say it's on a weekday, so you'll have people going to the office, going to work, but then early AM as well, you'll double dip in getting all of those early AM airport runs. That's a big niche. If you don't want to drive bar hours, you don't have to, because that is a huge niche on rideshare, is just doing those airport runs, if that makes sense for you in your marketplace, if that's something you want to do. Number 6, with your vehicle, okay, do not go out there and fully detail your vehicle every time you drive. That is what I did in October of 2015, basically. I had a Dodge Caliber, and I would clean and I would go to the car wash. I'd go to the car wash and I would hand detail like the tires, and I would clean the spokes, because it was first introduced into Pittsburgh February of 2013. So October 2015, it was this new like fancy thing. Listen, We've come a long way from that. You do not need to hand detail every inch of the vehicle. Make sure it's clean. I think passengers most notice just the inside, wipe it down real quick, vacuum, clean the windows. And also, I'd add and heavily recommend, I really don't want you to use a premium vehicle on rideshare unless it qualifies for like $3+ a mile Uber Black or other premium services, because you're going to make the same money. If you're driving a $60,000 plus vehicle on standard UberX or Lyft, you're getting the same rates as someone who's driving a fully depreciated older Prius. Is rideshare worth it? I mean, honestly, it's not bad for those individuals that are comfortable doing it. I think the gig itself is super easy. You do have to have more focus on the road. Keep that in mind. Unlike food delivery, you can relax a little bit, like I'm just delivering food. With rideshare, I have that individual or group, whatever, in the vehicle. I'm driving on the streets all the time. That is my job. I'm driving, I'm navigating this vehicle myself. I have to stay focused. Yeah, there might be more customer service, like more talking rights, and then also dealing with those fringe cases, especially if you're driving the bar hours. But the trade-off, if you're comfortable dealing with those kind of intangibles of rideshare, the pay usually is more than basically any other niche in the gig economy. So risk versus reward, rideshare, driving all those miles, having those passengers, having those risks, and the kind of ever-present, extremely rare safety risk as well. Is that worth it to make, what, let's say $3-4 more per hour? You let me know.